Okay, so good morning, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Doing this a little different this week. This is actually a live stream on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it gets saved on YouTube, so you can watch it not at 4 in the morning in America time. It's 4 in the morning now, um, 11 o'clock here in Eretz Israel. So, interesting week. Parshas Bshalach, we're kind of on the way to getting the Torah out of Mitzrayim. And Jewish people have the Yam in front of them, and people freaking out. The famous Kliyuker that has different groups of people. Some of them wanted to go back. Some were going straight to the river ocean. Some people didn't know what to do. So it's four groups of people, and in the Psukim, the Kliyuker brings down. And then what's interesting, which each year everyone asks this question, just about, is Hashem says to Moshe, "Not tzaka. Why are you crying out? Why daven? Stand there, batim tachrishum, and you, Hatem, all of you, should be quiet. Hashem wilchem. Hashem will fight. Everyone be quiet." What does that even mean? Every year, someone asks this question as far as we shouldn't daven. That was the perfect time to daven. You have Mitzrayim behind you. You have Yam Suf ahead of you. It's not a better time to pray and really think about God. Now's the time to daven. So why does Hashem say to Moshe, "Ma tetzakeh"? We know the Gemara says Hashem loves the tefillah of tzaddikim. Hashem made the most barren. So to hear the tzaddikim is a Gemara. So what does it mean? So I think there's a sefer Sharon B'Tefillah, by Rabbi Pincus Zatzal, that a bunch of years ago, 4 years ago, one of our friends in Mashilo passed away, Friday Mas, and we started to take on a sefer. My friend Danto, we had a little chabura, and we learned Shar B'Tshuva. And the book is really Tefillah, not Tshuva, Shar B'Tefillah. And it's an eye-opening book. I really recommend it. It really kind of turned the page in my mind as far as the approach to davening, being on time for davening, being in the moment, not being rushed, coming early, understanding tefillah, the different words of tefillah. And there's different ways. You think davening, we just have the word davening, but there's tzaka, there's tefillah, then there's praising Hashem. There's different, hispalel, there's different ways, and each of the 10 different expressions of tefillah is something different. We kind of unfortunately just lump it all together. You come late to shul, we just say things, we're not sure exactly what we're up to. We know that if you come late, you can't just start Shemon Esrei. You have to start with Shvach and Hodah. You have to start praising Hashem, thanking Hashem before you can ask for things. There's levels of getting up to that point. We can't just walk into shul, if you're late, you're 10 minutes late, okay, Shemon Esrei, boom. There's very specific halachos as far as you have time, do 3 halalukas and Ashrei and Baruch Shamar. If you have less time, then there's Baruch Shamar, Az Yashir, 1 halaluka. There's different levels of shvach, and because it's just not davening, it's not just asking for things. You have to really understand the time and the place for everything. You can't just ask for things. You want to ask something for your boss, you just don't ask, "Oh, everything okay? What a nice tie you have on today. What's a nice dress? Then I need a vacation." Things like that. So there's a certain level of shvach to appreciate Hashem. And then comes the time for Mishalos Libenu to ask for things. That being said, I think it fits in really nicely with what the situation is. Hashem didn't say don't daven. Hashem said ma titzaka is tzaka. So tzakas b'nei Yisrael is a crying out without words. Tzaka is when every hope is lost and you can't even express or you can't even hope to have things answered. Tzaka is a crying out without even words, really from your grave. And that part of tefillah was not needed or wasn't required. The Pri Tzaddik says the Jewish people did not have to go to that level of tzaka. Could they have davened a different way? Perhaps. Was it appropriate to praise Hashem, which they do afterwards? That was appropriate. But tzaka to really cry out at that all hope is lost was not appropriate, because the Jewish people were on a high level, not the highest level. They wouldn't get the Torah yet, but they're on a high level. They saw the Makos. They passed through Makas Bachoros, and they saw the light in Choshech. They saw Makas Bachoros. They risked their lives to do Korban Pesach. They were given the mitzvah of Achodesh. So it came time to the Kriyas Yamsuf. It was inappropriate for them to cry out in a way that showed a lack of emunah and lack of bitachon. And even though Hashem did this for them, and it wasn't really on their merits, because the angel of Mitzrayim said these people are just as bad as those people. So the Jewish people probably didn't think that they were deserving of a miracle. But either way, to call out in tzedakah was inappropriate for them. That's kind of a lesson I think we that we see that in our own lives. If we see challenges as challenges and not please give up hope, there's a certain type of davening. This past week, we stopped saying Anenu Borei Olam. So those people, again, you didn't know what this is. It's fine. I didn't know this either. But you go to Eretz Yisrael, in the Siddur, in the Siddurim, in the Eretz Yisrael Siddurim, there's a passage, Anenu Borei Olam. It's about 15 lines, not so short. And when there's really Atziras Geshama, when there's really no rain, you say this piece. And I don't think in 17 years I've ever said it. We ever said it before in our show. And the fact is, it only rained once until this week. So we're in February. Usually there's 5 or 6 good rains. And it rained once about a month ago, and that was really it. And a few weeks ago, they started saying Anenu Borei Olam. You say right before Shema Kolenu. And that was that. People, if you remembered it, you said it. If you didn't remember, you didn't say it. And then this week, Wednesday, everyone's like, oh, don't say anymore. The rabbi said, don't say it. And then, well, don't say it. Well, it did rain a couple days this week. It's raining now, actually. But the level is not there to warrant Anenu Borei Olam. Again, why not say it? Why not ask for rain? But the truth is no. If it's desperate times, desperate measures, then Anenu Borei Olam. That's time for tzedakah. So that's tefillah. When there's no rain for months, that's a tefillah, appropriate to say that. But when it just rained 2 days ago, and it's going to rain today, and it'll rain probably tomorrow in the forecast, it's not appropriate for a crucial or a tzedakah tefillah like Anenu Borei Olam. And this is kind of where I think what the Kriyas Yamsuf was. The Jewish people probably should have seen the Kriyas Yamsuf as opportunity to show their emunah, to show that they had this. I mean, they didn't just wake up yesterday. They actually had 10 makos. They saw nisim, they saw miracles. And Kriyas Yamsuf, probably more of them should have said, let's just move forward, and to cry out in tzedakah is probably the wrong thing to do. And that's exactly what the situation. The Priest says the people they deserve a miracle, but they shouldn't have had a lack of emunah, which tzedakah does. And hopefully we look at these opportunities. Sometimes we see bad things happen, and we can either throw up our hands and say, tzedakah, we have no hope, everything's lost, or we look at opportunity and say, we just have to have more emunah and bitachon, that whatever is taking place is really going to be for the good. Shabbat Shalom.